sexuality and the human body in general is not spoken about at all. And if it is, then it's it's the talk from your parents, and maybe perhaps a quick course in your school. But apart from that, there's really nothing. And at the same time, what you're being taught in school is just, oh, here's the vagina, here's the penis, and this goes in that, and then there's this all other combinations too. And like, yeah, great, thank you, I know all about it now.
Yeah. Well,
And do you think there needs to be a lot more education around sexuality?
brother, I'll put it like this. As I've said 2 or 3 times, sexuality is a journey that I'll be exploring for the rest of my life. And you just nailed it. Like they they give you 1 year. Like just I don't think you can get like multiple years of sex education in high school. I don't remember it. I think it's just like an introductory 1 year, just like a basic course. And like, here's a banana, you roll the condom on it, and like, all right, ladies, here's a pad, here's a tampon, whatever. It's like, all right, here's some basic things. It's just like safe sex, kids, and be good to each other, I guess, and like don't hurt anybody, I guess, and good luck for the rest of your life. And it's like like sexuality, I could do it whether you're professional or not. Like, you hope that somebody, I mean, they have the freedom to have sex until their very last day on earth. So, I mean, one thing I say is like, I'm a different person in my 40s than I was in my 30s, than I was in my 20s, than I was in the first 6 or 7 years when I lost from 13 to 20, when I had my first sexual experiences. And I mean, there's chapters of things that I learned in each decade. And I mean, a couple years ago, my nipples started getting more sensitive for the first time in my life, and my body is growing and changing, and it's like every body can change in so many levels, in so many ways. It's not like as soon as you get married, it's all over, throw the book out, you never have to explore anything sexually again, and like you just retire your genitals, or you just like set into cruise control, and and you learn everything, and it's just everything's going to be automatic pleasure. No, it's constant mystery, discovery, learning, growing, losing, heartbreaks, shocking, like chapter after chapter after chapter after, you just don't know. So there constantly needs to be sexual education, is obviously like the short answer, but like,
Yeah.
it's the thing that nobody wants to admit. And like, the last thing I kept saying is like, it's just the willingness thing. If you don't want to explore your sexuality and want to like be like, hey, I'm the exact same sexual person I was in university or college, and I never really want to push past that, and that's just me for the rest of my life, you can do that. Or you can expand your sexual experiences and education so many times where you just can't imagine how far it takes you. I'll just end off saying, like, I'm in year 8, but 2 years ago I was at a sex conference meeting some heroes from Chicago, and they were like, yeah, we're celebrating our 25th year in porn, and this is our first time in Toronto, and we're doing things that we've never done before. And I'm like, 25 years in the sex industry, like, how many stories, how many, and just like being like, this is the middle of my career. Like, that could be 50 years of sex.
Yeah, and it's and it's about the freedom to explore that, and the freedom to explore these things. And I mean, to my parents and friends listening to this, close your ears. But like, I'm only 21 years old, and I haven't had many experiences at all with different people. But ever since I met my current girlfriend 2 years ago, we've explored a lot, and and I'm exposing myself very much here. I'm getting very warm.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Don't worry, it feels good out here.
And Yeah, me 2 years ago, sexually, was a completely different person than I am today.
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh saying it, but it's very true, and it's a good thing, and it's a good kind of growth.
So think about yourself right now, and then extrapolate 4 years ahead, and then kind of imagine you looking back on yourself today, and
Right.
you'll probably laugh at yourself, being like, "Wow, it's kind of funny when I was like shy about this because I've grown to a higher level or a different level."
Yeah, and yeah, not. I'm sure anyone or most people listening to this would never ever publicly say anything like that. Maybe perhaps to your closest friends, but this is going to be broadcasted online and for everyone and anyone to listen to and hear.
Yes.
And that's what's needed. That's really what's needed. I'm not entirely comfortable doing it myself, but I just did it.
But dear brother, I mean, uh, I want to explore that, and I just think, why do we fear love? Why do we fear beauty? Why do we fear truth? Because I think, okay, a regular family, a husband, traditional relationship, assuming under, I don't even know what the reality is, assuming that nature uh, fundamentally makes a heterosexual relationship a majority relationship in life. Not everybody is man woman, but average man, average woman, average love relationship. If they have a healthy, happy connection and they kiss, they hug, they fuck, they cuddle, they fall asleep, they fart, they have baths together, they cook together. If they do things together, why should they have a problem talking about it? What is there to be ashamed about two human beings loving each other? How far have we fallen from healthy connection to have a problem with two people who want to kiss, who want to love, who want to do that with each other? Like, I don't. There's no logical reason for it. It's there are these like subtle, snide, cynical, like, oh, like some people are like, oh, we're too good to like sacrifice our egos to admit that we need intimacy. We're too cool. Oh, we're too busy. I'm too famous. I don't need anybody like that. They need me. I don't need them. Or like, I'm too busy. I'm flying around, or I'm getting money, or I'm like, what the fuck is going on in your life where you can't be happy to receive healthy intimacy? And if it is healthy, honest, consensual intimacy, nobody's cheating on each other, there's no rape, there's no abuse, there's no harm, there's no manipulation. Why would it need to be hidden? Why? Like, I don't see any logical reason. And it's just like, all right, if you don't want to see it, you don't have to look at it. Like, which is the get a room joke. It's like, all right, if somebody, all right, maybe people fucking in a park is like too much. Be like, all right, that's beautiful, but like, there's kids out here, don't fuck in the park. But it's
Right.
like, there's no need to be ashamed of passion, love, beauty, and like, I saw an ad once, and it was the most, it's profound. It said, "Imagine having nothing to hide." It was a advertisement for makeup, but I'm like, I applied it to sexuality. I'm like, imagine having nothing to hide. I'm like, I have never raped anybody. I've never abused anybody. I literally want to go to my father was abusive, so I'm like, I want my life, even if I never become a multi-platinum artist, a big famous rap star. I'm like, I at least want, as a sexual being, to not ever have abused or hurt any of my partners. I want these hands to have never hurt anybody. So I'm like, if anybody asks me any questions, I'm like, I have nothing to hide. I made love to that person, yes. The only thing I would hide it about is if they didn't want it to be known. But if like, I'm like, the porn scenes we do, it's public art, it's material. I'm like, I made love to that person. Yeah, sure. What's wrong with it? That's what we did that day. What did you do that day? Eat food? Masturbate? Like, whatever. Like, did you make love to somebody and hide it? if you can tell me, because I'm not going to judge you for it, I will cheer you. So like, I really want to like, I'll end off this saying like, it's a really long journey to get to the point where you really look at sexuality as like, there's no reason logically for me to be ashamed of anything. So we can talk about anything, any of my porn scenes, any of my private lovers that are allowed to be talked about publicly. I have nothing to hide. But like, if you don't want to talk about it, fine, you can ask me. But like, I will not judge you if you talk about you personally or any other human. I'll be like, I'm happy for you. I have compersion for your pleasure.